Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the KeithAndrewNetwork. It is episode 730. I'm here with upcoming professional actor Hayden Williams. It's a real honor and privilege having you as a guest. Thank you for being a guest.
You're welcome.
Now,
It's
for
also-
people, go ahead.
Yeah. It's also a pleasure to be here with you. Thank you. Yeah.
No, likewise. For people who want to know what my talk show is about, whole point of my talk show is to show people that even with having a learning disability, I can still amount to something. At the same time, I'm able to turn myself into an example for people out there dealing with any types of learning disabilities and disabilities to never give up and prove people wrong. Prove to them that labels do not dictate who you are and who you're going to be. It's to prove to them you can still amount to something. So hashtag break the labels. So that being said, half hour, 25 minutes of your time. Say anything you want, talk about anything you want, PG-13. And the first question is, who has inspired you to become a professional actor, and how many years have you been acting?
I have been acting professionally since I was 8 years old, and I've been acting since I was probably like 3 to 5. I have been acting for a very, very long time, and I think probably one of the inspirations that I had for being an actor was all the Spider-Man people, all the people who played Spider-Man on TV, because I just have so many fond memories of me just watching the movies, and me just jumping off the couch. And also one of the first injuries that I remember getting is because I was playing Spider-Man and I fell off the couch and I had to get stitches on my chin. And yeah, there's just so many memories, and I think that is where it came from, is just all the Spider-Man movies. That's just where it came from. So I'm going to say, yeah, that was... And also a little bit of Star Wars, just that too. I'm just going to throw that in because I just thought I should say it.
No, absolutely. Now, for me, I'm more of a Star Trek person, but for me, when I think about Star Wars, it has to be episode 4, 5, and 6. You know, those are my favorite originals.
Yeah.
For me, I'm more of a Star Trek person, so, you know, live long and prosper. Now, the other question I want to ask you is, who were some of your favorite Spider-Man? For me, when I think about Spider-Man, I think it's always going to be Tobey Maguire. Well, who was the very first Spider-Man that you liked, and who influenced you?
Yeah, it's Tobey Maguire. It's Tobey Maguire all the way because, yeah, that's just where it came from. It's just where that bloomed. But I think in 2016, when I was 7 years old, when I started acting, like I was on the verge of acting professionally, I think Tom Holland was the person who kind of got me, hey, you should go act professionally. And I was like, yeah, I'm going to go do that.
Now, the
And
first
then one of
question.
yeah.
No, absolutely. Now, the next question I want to ask you is, because you are an up-and-coming kid actor, who has actually, you know, you mentioned Spider-Man, you mentioned how long have you been performing, but what was that one moment that influenced you and said, you know what, this is what I want to do for the rest of my life? Who was that very first inspiration, or what was your very first inspiration that made you get that mindset?
I think it was when I was acting in a school production of The Lion King when I was 6 years old. I was playing young Simba, and I just enjoyed it so much that I was like, that I don't remember it fondly, but I do know that I think one night I told my mom and dad that I want to do this. This is what I want to do for the rest of my life. And so that's where it kind of bloomed out, is from that production of The Lion King. And I still remember it. And I always smile when I look back at it.
No, absolutely. And the next question I want to ask you is, what was the next step? Okay, so you have the platform. The platform is this is what you want to do for the rest of your life. How did you expand on that? What was the next step for you that you had to take?
Um, I think the next step that I really had to take was learning what they actually did, was learning the behind the scenes of movies and all that, and also getting into and becoming Spider-Man as a teenager to like as in like in my early 20s was my goal. My first my was my goal, like the goal that I actually am reaching for. So I signed up for a lot of dance classes, a lot of them, and I did ballet, tap, hip hop. I did a lot of ballet classes, and I did a lot of them, and I continue to do them, and it helps me not just want to be Spider-Man, but want to go to and be more things. And so yeah, the biggest step probably was having to work at the hard work was work hard and work to get there. And I think that was the hardest, but it was the next step towards becoming an actor. So yeah.
The next one I want to ask you is what were some of your favorite companies and organizations that you got to work with, and how did you go about it if people want to follow in your footsteps?
That's a hard one. I like almost all the people, all the companies. I like all of them that I've worked with. I don't think I have a particular favorite one. It's just a lot. And I just, yeah, there's a lot of companies that I've been working with, and I don't even think I have a favorite. I just like them all, and they're great. And I would recommend a lot of companies for people to work with. So yeah.
No, I agree. Now, the next question I want to ask you is social media. Can social media make you or break you with your Facebook, Twitter, Instagram? I know you have a large number on Instagram. I'm slowly catching up to that, but you have a huge following on Instagram. Do those numbers dictate if companies, let's say for an example, you have a huge following, does that dictate if someone should work with you? And does that help to get on somebody's radar? So, with everything that you accomplish, how do you feel about how social media has been helping you?
Yes, having a big follower group does help you. It's not necessarily the first thing that directors and producers and a lot of other people who are making films or TV shows or even doing a production of a musical, it's not the first thing that they look to, but yes, you should definitely build your Instagram platform, do all that social media so that you have groups of people who follow you. And when directors and producers see that, they're like, okay, this kid has a lot of followers, we should ask him to audition. So it does help, it really does. It gets you about maybe 20 to 30% of the way. It's not, it doesn't really, it doesn't always work, but it does help push you towards a direction of getting to a director or producer.
No, I agree with you. Now, here's a personal question for you. You know, for me, if you look at my numbers, I earn every single person on that list. I didn't, there's this application where you can pay to get followers and spam bots. I don't do that. I have over 1,000 and something followers. Those are how many people I approached, introduced myself, and shared a message with. For your following, did you take the easy way, or did you actually, make a message and say, this is what I'm doing, and people just flock to you?
Um,
You did it the long way.
I did the long way, yeah. I definitely told people what I was doing. I did a lot of pictures and a lot of videos of when I was like at a job, I would take a lot of pictures and do a lot of videos. And if I couldn't and I was like on stage, I would definitely have my parents take the photos and I would message, yeah, I would tell people what I was doing and yeah, it was probably yeah. And that is yeah.
No, that's the right way to go about it. Never take shortcuts because that can always come up and cut your knees out from under you. It's always good to stand on your own 2 feet and say, this is what I'm doing. I stand by it 100%, and no one can take it out away from you.
Yeah.
But the next one I do want to talk to you about is the theme of the show is disabilities. Have you ever worked with people with disabilities, and are you willing to work with people with disabilities?
I don't think I have worked with people who have disabilities. I don't think I have. Not a lot. Not a lot of people. I think I have worked with like one or two people before, but not a lot. And yeah, I would definitely be willing to work with somebody who has a disability, cuz yeah, I don't really care if they have a disability. It's just who they are. So if they're like a big company producer, but they, let's say they're um I don't want to be offensive, so I'm just gonna say they have to be in a wheelchair for the rest of their life. I don't care that I'm gonna work with them. They're gonna if they're gonna actually put in the work to help me, then I'm gonna work with them because if they're spending most of their time to help me, so I should help them.
No, I feel the same exact way. Now, the next question I want to ask you is, with what is the next step? You mentioned you are a professional actor. Do you want to do like professional voiceovers? Do you want to be like the leading star, supporting star? What is next for you in your career?
Um, right now at the moment, um not a lot of jobs are coming along because of the coronavirus, and I'm not really looking for a job in particular, because if there's a job, I'm just gonna ask if I can do it. Animation, sure. Voiceover, it's not my favorite, as I'm not really with people, and I'm a extrovert, and I like being live with people, and I like working with people and socializing. And when I don't do as good. So I'm gonna lean towards and lead or supportive. Um, I don't actually really care if I'm the lead or the supporter or the villain or any part. I want to do my best and just make sure that I'm having fun, and just yeah.
No, I agree. It's always about putting 110% into something. Never do anything half-ass. Because if you do, then it's kind of like you're only doing it to make the time go by, but you really don't care for it. So if you do something, make sure it's exactly what you want to do,
Mhm.
because you don't want to waste people's time.
Mhm. Yeah.
Now, the next question I want to ask you is, what are some of your greatest strengths as being a professional actor?
Acting. It's just pretending to be somebody. That is definitely one of my strong suits, as ever since I could probably walk or talk, I have been pretending to be people, just pretending to be made up characters and made up worlds, and I that's just my strength. That is just the strongest thing I can do. I am really, really good at pretending to be somebody, because I've been doing that for most of my life, and that is probably my favorite thing in the whole entire world to do. So yeah.
No, I agree. And what about being a professional actor that you would say, and that goes another positive, and can go as a negative. What about being an actor about has helped you with your people skills, that has helped you open up and made you, do you feel that being a professional actor has made you a better person, and are you more, you know, approachable to other people? How has that simulated around your life?
It does. I would say that I have become a little more comfortable with going places because of being like an actor. Because when I was starting out, I was like, okay, where are we going? I don't know where we're going. Can we go home now? But now I'm just like, once we get there, I'm like, oh yeah, can we stay here forever? Or can we just stay here for a few weeks or a few months or a few years? So yeah, I definitely think that it helps me, that acting, being a professional actor has definitely helped me get more used to going more into more places and staying for a while. And I yeah, that's just probably what has happened, and I just think that has helped me a great deal.
And now go to the opposite. Say what is your biggest weakness as standing in front of people doing auditions, and what are some of the recommendations that you would give to people to not be hesitant and not use it as a weakness? Because you just mentioned, being in front of people, you got comfortable and you feel more secure and confident in yourself. But let's go back before that to you're unsure, you're hesitant. What do you say your biggest weakness is, that you are your own worst enemy?
Um, uh, I don't, huh. I think one weakness that some people with being an actor is kind of when you, and especially when I was starting out, getting along with the people that were the same age as me or a little bit older was definitely probably the hardest. As you're just walking onto a set, you don't know who they are, you just meeting them for the first time, and but it's just hard getting along with somebody that you have never known before, you've never seen before, and that's just the hardest thing. Probably that's just probably used to be my weakness. My weakness now, oh, I don't really know. It's
All
not
right.
really clear. I don't think I have a lot of weaknesses. I do think that I have one, but right now I don't see any. I don't know any. Nothing's really coming to my mind. Yeah,
No,
not really. Yeah, but definitely getting along with the new people that you're just meeting for the first time, that is definitely something that a lot of people are going to struggle with at first, but once you get into the habit of doing it, you're it's pretty easy. It becomes pretty easy. You're walking into somebody new and you're like, "Hey, I'm Hayden." "Oh, hey, I'm Alicia." "Oh, nice to meet you, Alicia. Is this your first time on a set?" "Yes, it is." It's just at first it becomes hard, but then again, when you as you go on, it becomes easier, and it becomes you're just you become a natural at it. It's just pretty easy.
no, absolutely. Now, with everything that you accomplish, when you say, once this whole Corona thing's over, you go back to school, do you feel like people run up to you and say, I want to hang out with this kid because he's a big star? Do you feel that this gives you confidence, self confidence, of saying, I'm kind of have something to brag about? How would you tell someone who wants to follow in your footsteps?
I tell them not to use it to your advantage. As when I the last school I was at, because I'm going to a new middle school, but the last school I was at, no one really ever no one treated me like I was this, "Oh, you're famous, you're this, like, all haily god, let's all bow down to you." No, they just treated me like a kid. They just treated me like a regular kid. And after being on a set and being with a bunch of other kids and being sometimes being the person who's, like, let's say I was the main character of the film I just shot, going to going to a school and where your friends treat you just like a normal kid, that is just probably what I could just ask for. That is definitely what I could just ask for. So, what I would tell them is don't be like a jerk about it, like, oh, I'm famous, I did all this, a bunch this cool stuff, yeah, you're all beneath me. I would just say, treat everybody the same. Be treat people the way you want to be treated. And so yeah, I would definitely say don't use your fame or or what you just did to your advantage, because you should just act like everybody else.
And the last one I want to ask you is, let's see, I'm looking for a good one. Out of all the actors, I know you're a huge Spider-Man fan, so this one kind of fits you. What is your work style, and do you try to mirror, Peter Parker's image? So do you like watch, or read comics about Spider-Man and say, okay, in real life, I'm gonna copy what I'm reading and do it in reality? Is that how you work around your work style? Or do you make your own work style?
I would say a mix of both. Like, I would see something and be like, oh, I'm gonna copy that. That looks so cool. And then, like, another thing, I could be like, oh, I'm gonna do this because I just came up with it and I like it, so I'm gonna do it. And so, yeah, it's a mixture of both. It's just a mixture, and yeah. There's like something like I'm on the internet and I'm looking at like photos for images for my new photo shoot, and I was like, oh, that looks cool. I'm gonna do that. And then I could just be like just walking around and just like thinking about stuff, and then be like, okay, I think that's cool. I'm gonna do that because I created that and I like it. So yeah, it's a mixture of both. Sometimes I do one, and then sometimes I do the other.
All right, and now that we're wrapping up the show. I do have a question for you off the air. But first one is, how can people follow you on social media? Are you on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram?
I am on Instagram, and yeah, I'm on Instagram, and and I'm also on Facebook, and if you wanna like uh do something, or like give me an idea or something, then you can just email me on Instagram or Facebook, and I would just, yeah, you can just do that.
And the last one for you is, are you a fan of being a brand ambassador, or are you not interested in being brand ambassadors?
What is
Brand ambassador
brand
to,
ambassador?
to represent a company.
Oh, I would be interested in that, representing a company.
Oh,
I I'm actually representing a company right now, Happy Camper Live, and I think that a bunch of kids who I think could be watching this for some reason, you should definitely go check that out. It is definitely cool. It's where people are taking activities that you can do at home, and you can they just have ideas where you're going to do activities that you can do at home, and you don't have to go out and and just and you don't have to go out and do it anywhere else. You can do it in your backyard, you can do it in your house, you can do it with your family, you can do it all kinds of stuff, and I think that's cool. So we'll definitely go check that out.
no, absolutely. Now, I do have a couple questions for you off the air, but the last one I always ask everyone, when I first approached you to be a guest on my talk show, what was your honest first opinion? What made you say yes? And how do you feel now? Would you recommend it to other people?
When you first approached me, I was like confused about what is this guy gonna do? I was kind of confused about what this was going to turn out, and I'm definitely happy that I did this because it was fun and I liked that. So yeah, I'm glad that you approached me. I'm glad that I agreed, and I'm glad that we got to spend this half an hour together.
No, absolutely. Now, wrapping up our show, it was a real honor and privilege having you as a guest. And look for the part two down the road. But in the meantime, for people who want to follow more of the Keith Network, you can go to the Facebook fan page, KeithAndrewNetwork.com, YouTube channel, KeithAndrewNetwork.com, So same name, KeithAndrewNetwork.com on YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, same exact name. YouTube, Instagram is the only one that's different. It is KeithAndrew88. And for our new fans out there who actually really be surprised about this, and you're going to be surprised about this too, is for now you can see the Keith Andrew Network on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and all the social media. And now, for the time being, for anyone who lives in New York City and Manhattan, on the neighborhood, that should be a name, right? On the Manhattan neighborhood of broadcasting on Channel 2 every Saturday, 10:30 a.m. to 10:58 a.m., you get to see the Keith Andrew Network on public broadcasting. So if you live in the city on Saturday mornings, you want to watch my show, or you can subscribe to the YouTube channel. You can watch it anytime you like. The Keith Andrew Network brand getting bigger, better as we get every step of the way. Now, with that being said, it was a real honor having you, and I'm looking forward to part 2. Thank you for your time.
Mimi Chen.
Hi, my name is Ella Dorsch.
My name is Shauna Toft.
Hey guys, I'm Anastasia Edwards.
Hi, this is Jackie Nunez.
Actress Becky Hayes.
Hi, I'm Amelia Rose.
Hey there, I'm Saki Mieta.
Hi guys, I'm Alexandria Denise, and you're watching Keith Andrews' show.